Hey everyone, if you are into real estate vacation rental investing, this video is for you. We have a lesson that admittedly we don't really want to have to share with you because we made a mistake and it has cost us tens of thousands of dollars all in a matter of months. I mean, it just about broke us. So if you're interested in investing on the vacation rental side, aka short-term rentals, then listen up. Okay, so we have done a handful of STR videos in the past to help you understand the rules and how it works here locally. We're in the Bend, Oregon, Central Oregon market. We've also included some of our experiences with STRs, but it has been a while since we've touched on our rentals in particular. So let me just bring you up to speed real quick. My wife Shannon and I have 4 Airbnb rentals. And we've launched them to market basically over the course of 4 years, starting back in 2018. And each one of them took right off, and all has been good. Very good. So good, in fact, that they had become a headache. Not complaining here, but 1 rental was easy. 2 was more than twice the work. And then by the time we opened the 3rd and 4th doors, we were flat out overwhelmed. Messages, bookings, cancellations, issues, repairs, reviews, cleanings. We weren't cleaning them ourselves, thankfully. But the point is, no matter how automated we made it, or no matter how advanced the third-party software, management software was that we were using, it was still a lot to do and manage. Not to mention, our real estate business was booming. We had arrived as a top producing real estate team here in our local market. And then there's all of the content that we create here on YouTube, which, if you were wondering, takes time, a lot of time. And the reason we do this is because it does genuinely help business. You know what? Time out for a second. I just gotta say this, I cannot believe how awesome so many of you guys are. We've worked with so many of our viewers over the past 5 years, and I just have to say that you guys are the best. In fact, I got in a fight with a business coach about a year ago who told me that referrals were the absolute best clients to work with, and I respectfully disagreed and said, no, my YouTube viewers are the best clients. Like I said, I got in a fight with him. Needless to say, he's not my coach anymore. Sorry, not sorry. Love you, Javi, but you all, our viewers, are the best. Oh, and then of course, finally, we also have 2 kids that we are constantly running around to sports practices and trying to help them live their best lives, you know? Between the kids, the business, the content, and the rentals, we were totally spent. Now again, we did have a bunch of software that automated a bunch of stuff, so it wasn't that it was that much actual work, but it was more like a death of a million cuts. Every time we got a booking, there was a ping on our phone. And every time one of the front doors opened, the Ring doorbell would ping us. Just a never-ending string of constant distractions. So the time had come to outsource the management of our, rentals to like a proper property management company. Let's just take the distractions away. So after interviewing 3 or 4 different management companies, we settled on one who, based on our experience, had the best overall knowledge of how to market and operate the properties. They also happen to have the most accurate revenue projections. They were spot on, actually, which was impressive considering the 3 other companies that we were talking to were tragically low. It was weird. It was actually kind of sad. So we hired them. All right, now it's changed over time. We stopped taking bookings, we paused our accounts, transferred the few of the bookings over that were, ways out, got new photos, and officially launched our properties with the management company. Nope, we're not gonna say the name. We're not gonna tell you who it was. Don't even ask us privately, okay? Now we wait for the homes to fill up with bookings, except they didn't. Weeks went by without a single booking. Come on. Okay, now in fairness, it is a new property because it was a new account. Our personal account had like almost 1,000 5-star reviews, so it might take a while to get going, right? So a month went by and a few trickled in. The next month, which was December, revenues barely covered our mortgages. Come on, it's December. December's always a great month. Then January comes. Almost nothing. Time out. Are we panicking? Hell yes. But are we trying to be as patient as possible to allow this thing to build up momentum? Yes, in theory, but inside we're screaming. Why isn't this booking? Why aren't we getting reservations? Now, every once in a while, not every once in a while, often, but every once in a while, we would look at the nightly rates and they were really high, higher than we would have charged per night when we were running them. So we'd send a quick message to the company and say, hey, we think the rates are a little high, maybe drop them down a bit. And they would, and we would get a few bookings. But then a month later, they'd be back to charging too much. And again, no bookings. Now, I won't say that there weren't any bookings at all. There were. And we got some great extended stays for 2 weeks at a time or a month at a time. But it was only at like one of our rentals at a time. So it wasn't like we were booked across all 4. Okay, spring hits. And most people might think, all right, here we go. Nope. Spring is usually still pretty slow. June. June's when things go bonkers. But June was still months away. I mean, we're not covering the mortgages, folks. Hey, good thing the real estate's hot, right? I mean, oh wait, interest rates are at 7.5%. Nobody's buying or selling. Okay, shh, just be patient. So we keep telling ourselves, June hits. Actually, on the calendar, it's June. It's been 8 months since we've handed the rentals off to a company. June is 75% booked, July is only half booked, and August is like 10% booked. Now for context, by the time the calendar actually hits June 1, it's actually June, historically, our doors are fully booked, 80 to 90% booked out through the entire summer. June, July, August, even September. We know this from years of experience doing this. Yeah, so at this point, we're genuinely outwardly beginning to panic. So a management company charges a fee on revenue. If you book $5,000 per month, they're gonna take anywhere from 20 to 30% depending on how you negotiate that. That's $1,000 to $1,500 per month. We were not only losing revenue on having empty rentals, but we were paying them to make less. So here's the part where we talk about a few of the pitfalls that you can learn from our situation. With our rentals, when we launched them originally, we didn't necessarily have much difficulty getting them booked up. But when a new account doesn't have any review history, it does take some time to build up that trust with the platform or platforms. If you're on Airbnb, VRBO, all Bonvoy, all of those things, bookings.com. So when we launched our 4 at the same time with no reviews, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. We probably could have staggered those launches, got one up and running with a bunch of reviews, then got the next one up, and so on and so forth. Secondly, we should have been adamant about keeping some control over the pricing, especially from the very beginning. One thing that they didn't do with respect to building up reviews like we just talked about was start off by having a lower price per night to get it filled. Because then after you get it full and after you have some reviews, you can start creeping up the price. This was, in my opinion, a huge mistake by the company that we hired and a key difference in our booking philosophy. And I will also say that our intent with these rentals has always been to maximize the revenue. These are not vacation rentals that we bought so that we can go and visit ourselves. They're all here in town and we live here in town, and these are investments in passive income producers for us. If you're looking to buy a place that you can visit a few times a year and just offset some of those, expenses with rental income, that would be a whole different story. And the management company might still be a really good idea or a really good option for you. So, how long did it take to finally get back to where we were? We don't know. We fired the property management company after 8 months. I can't tell you exactly how much we lost, but it's in the range of $75,000. This was supposed to relieve our stress, give us more time, make things easier. Instead, it nearly broke us. It depleted our cash flow. It almost forced us to sell one of our rentals. We were heavily considering it, except for the market sucked too. Now, we understood that there was going to be an expense to the total net income of hiring a management company to do this, but not like this. Since July, we have brought all of our rentals back under our own control, hired and trained an assistant to manage our rentals the way that we wanted them to be run, and funny thing, our rentals are back to full occupancy or darn near full. They're back to generating the same revenue and occupancy rate that they were previously. I'm not saying don't hire a management company, but if you do, be sure to understand how they plan to build up reviews. Understand their pricing strategy and philosophy. Do your own independent research on what the nightly rates should be. And finally, make sure you still check in on them from time to time. When we got our rentals back, one of the units had a water leak that nobody knew about because nobody was staying there. Nobody wasn't booked. Fortunately, it was fairly minor. No serious damage, occurred, but definitely food for thought. If you were thinking about making an investment here in the Bend / Central Oregon area, my team and I would love to be your local real estate resource of choice. We've helped hundreds of folks just like you, and we'd be honored to hear from you. You can reach out to us at krommrealestate.com, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again, and we'll see you over in the next video.